What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy DJ Chalk from the Nite Show podcast. Today, I got a living legend on the show with me today. You've seen him on Mad TV. You've seen him on Russell Simmons, Def Comedy Jam, my personal favorite, Shaq's All-Star Comedy Jam, and so many more movies and all kinds of things, man. I got to go ahead and introduce you. What's up, Aries Spears?
Hey, what's happening, baby? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us today, man.
All love, dog. All love.
I appreciate it, man. So how's everything been treating you, man? How's life?
You know, it's a 15-round fight, man. I win some rounds, and some rounds you got to lay up against the ropes to take the rib shots.
I got you, man. Well, shit. I mean, to me, you're a living legend. You're amongst the greats, So I'm glad you're here. How's COVID been? COVID's been treating you. How's it been treating
you? Listen, man. As long as I fortunate enough, knock on wood, to not catch the shit, I'll take it. I mean, it's fucking up the game, but hopefully we should get past this shit this year. And if everybody could not be ridiculous about the vaccine and stop believing there's a boogeyman, Black community, we be all right.
Yeah. No, most definitely, man. Okay, so why don't you tell? We got about 30 minutes here today, so I'm gonna get to it. All right, so fill us in. What you been up to, man? I know you got a podcast out. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Your co-host, what you guys do?
Yeah, it's called Spears and Steinberg, the Jew and the Jerk. And he's actually my featured comedian. He opens up on the road with me, Andy Steinberg. Okay. And we've been doing it now going on, I guess, 3 years now. Okay. So yeah, man, we just, new episodes every Wednesday and Thursday. Thursdays, we do a email episode where we read emails from the fans. And then on Wednesdays, we do our original episodes where, we just basically talk about anything and everything under the sun.
Gotcha.
And it's available on all streaming platforms. I always tell people the email to hit me up on Instagram, slide in my DM, and I'll send you the links.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I went last night and I downloaded every episode.
Oh.
On Spotify. I went to subscribe, download everything. I don't even know if I have any memory left on my phone, man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to start listening to it. I'm glad you shared that with me because I didn't even know about it. So I'm about to definitely tune in and lock in.
I always tell people, look, I know that we're I think 200. I don't know the exact number, but we're well over 200 episodes.
Wow.
And I always tell people, if they can, man, try to listen from episode 1 and go in order, because you really get a chance to track the evolution and the growth of the show. And like anything, when you first start out, we so wet behind the ears that we trying to find our legs. And, you'll get a chance to see certain jokes develop, characters develop, and certain callbacks and stuff will make sense to you if you go in order. If you go out of order, you'll still enjoy it, but I don't think it'll be as impactful because you won't know the origin from which it came from.
Got you. Okay, definitely. Will do. So, for those who don't know, because I got a lot of young viewers, I really invest in the youth. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, when did you start comedy, man? Like, I know, but for the people to know, when did you start doing this? And kind of when did you know you were going to be a comedian? What got you into it?
I was a kid in the 80s, man. So Eddie Murphy was my go-to guy. And I just did a little bit of research, and I know that he started when he was 14, and he's an Aries, and his birthday's April 3rd, same as me. So I just kind of took all of that as motivation and just started doing it, man. And I knew the right people at the right time, and was able to get on Def Comedy Jam in its second year when I was 16 years old with Martin, and Showtime at the Apollo the next year at 17, and kind of like the rest is just history, man.
I got you, man. So you've been doing this for how long? How long you been in the industry?
30 years.
30 years strong, man. 30 years strong. Okay, that's awesome, man. So, basically like how did you get into like the Mad TV scene? You know what I'm saying? Like what got like how did you get that opportunity? Was it like just one thing led to another type thing?
Yeah.
Man, that show is like absolutely legendary. Man. That show is legendary.
But listen, I'll take all the adjectives and all the descriptions you want to give the show or you want to give me, because Lord knows this business takes a lot out of you in terms of your spirit, your soul, and your mind. So anything you can get to replenish and refuel your tank, I'll take it.
I got you, man. No, I absolutely understand. So like, you know, I would want to know from you, what are some of the obstacles that you face? Because our platform is basically to shine light on people, the masters of their craft, right? But we also want to be there for the youth and kind of let them know, like, hey, what could we do to kind of, to follow your path, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe what we could do different, you know what I mean? If you can give us some advice or to the youth.
It's always hard to say, man, because, like they say, enjoy the journey. And everybody's journey can be vastly different. While there might be some things in terms of similarities, sometimes things are just uniquely different for you in terms of how you make your decisions and what you might be up against. So I just say, if anything, man, try to stay consistent and strong, because I'm telling you, man, this business, life itself, but particularly this business, if you're trying to get into show business, this business beats you up, man.
Yeah,
It really wreaks havoc on your soul and your spirit and your mind. So you just have to stay as strong as possible, stay consistent, don't give up. I know that all sounds cliche, but I mean, it really is the truth. And when all else fails, man, smoke some weed and drink some vodka.
Hell yeah, man. No, I feel that. So you're in LA right now, right? You live in LA.
Yeah.
How's the weed out there? I see you got. I see you got.
Yeah. Hey man, this is Snoop Dogg territory. This is Be Real territory.
What's your favorite dispensary out there? Where do you go to?
I don't really have one, man. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even get technically all the strains of weed when they go, man, this is the Purple Kush and this is the Hawaiian Sea Breeze. At the end of the day, it all gets you high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't understand degrees of highness. High is high.
Well, some shit strong as fuck, right? You'd be like, damn, what is this? You'd be there like,
yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess it might be based on your tolerance level.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, man, my boy Be Real, whenever I do his podcast, he always laces me with something. But I'm a weed smoker, but I'm not a champion. You got guys like Wiz Khalifa, Be Real, Snoop. They the undisputed champs. I'm not a champion.
I mean, if you getting weed from Be Real, that shit ain't weak. I know that one.
Oh, listen, he's got a whole business behind it.
I know, Dr. Green Thumb. I know.
Yeah.
I look in. I know a lot about Be Real, man. He's a legend too. So now I'm a smoker too. So I had to ask. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man.
I'm shit strong as hell. Now it's out there. But so. Are you on tour still? Like, do you still do comedy tours? Like, are you still out there? You have shows that we can come watch you at?
Yeah, matter of fact, I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning to catch a 5:00 flight tomorrow to go to Baltimore.
Okay, awesome. And you still doing like world tours and stuff like that? Awesome, man. Awesome. I mean, you were talking about the comedy game, and I know about the comedy game, and I know that it's like it's one of the most competitive fields, I think, out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's very hard to make it. I know that much. You know what I mean? But once you make it, it's like, is it hard to stay, I guess, quote unquote, relevant or something? You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen a lot of your interviews, and I know you things in the past about, maybe you feel a certain way about the industry or something like that. Do you think? Because to me, like I said, like, I know talent, right? And I know, like, when somebody's a comedic genius, it don't matter if they got a blue check mark, a million followers. if they're good, they're good, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like I've watched my wife is right here, man, another room. If you ask her how many times I've watched Shaq's All-Star Comedy Jam, that one at least 500 times, bro. Just
Right.
when I put that shit on, you know. So like I don't think good comedy ever dies. You know what I mean? I think that shit will always be there. But like as far as the industry and stuff goes, do you think that it's a hard thing to get into now for comedians?
It's kind of a catch-22. Nothing in show business is easy to get into, but at the same time, because of social media, because everybody with a phone now is Spike Lee, everybody's got a foot in the door to an extent. Whether or not you stay there is the real question, because longevity is a whole nother issue. But there's nothing easy about this business, but at the same time, it makes it easy for people who may not necessarily should be able to get beyond the velvet rope to get into the club, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, once motherfuckers get into the club, if your talent doesn't hold, you quickly get thrown out.
Right.
But once upon a time ago, you know, before smartphones and social media, it was even harder.
The Chitlin tour.
Yeah, all of that.
All that, yeah. Nah, I already know, man. I already know. Did so like with your podcast and everything, I know you're working on that now. What are your plans for like the future? Or do you have any plans, or just kind of where you're at trying to just grow this podcast completely?
You know, I'm deep into the podcast because, you know, if Joe Rogan didn't show us anything else, he showed us what can be done. So, and it ain't like, you know, look, let's be honest.
Yeah.
How many motherfuckers is gonna reach that goal? But that doesn't mean you're not supposed to try. And even if you don't get that, because that is the creme de la creme extreme, but you know, you can land somewhere within the vicinity and still make some ridiculous money. So he motivates you to go for it all the way. And then whatever else, you know, you could try to do in terms of a hustle and a grind, do that too.
Got you. So I'm Indian. I don't know if you could tell or not. A lot of people don't know when they look at me, but I'm, you know, we the same color, bro. So you're a color man just like me, you know what I'm saying? And we face obstacles no matter what it is, you know what I'm saying? We're dealing with certain people. So as a color man, like what are some of the obstacles you faced within the industry? And like, how would you say to maneuver yourself strategically to get to that next level if you're trying to come up in the game?
Know when to shut the fuck up and make your moves methodically and move it. Do like an Italian mobster. Move in silence. You know what I mean?
I've heard you say that quite a bit. I've heard you say that.
Yeah, I you know, I often tell this story, man. I when I had dinner with Chris Rock, best 3 things he ever told me: stay consistent, keep writing, stay funny, and try not to piss these white folks off. And you know, as you get older, you get wiser, supposedly, and you try to not make the same mistakes, and you try to learn from your mistakes and things you didn't know then that you know now. You use that as you know, ways to maneuver better. And I always knew this was a white man's game. You know, and the racism and the politics of show business has always been there. But now I really understand what he means when he says, don't piss these white folks off.
Absolutely, man. And I think so I watched your Breakfast Club interview a while back, and you said something like this, and I was like, and I was going through something at work, you know what I'm saying? Just not obviously on your level, but at work. And I was like, I need to learn when to shut the fuck up, because I'm kind of like you know what I mean? I just be talking, man, and I'm unfiltered, and I say what I want to say, and I, you know, sometimes you realize like you just got to play chess with these people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to get where you got to go sometimes, you know?
I mean, yeah, you do. But it also depends on what's important to you or how you want to navigate where you want to be. Because look, if everything you want to do and everything you want to be is about this business and obtaining a certain level of stature and success,
gotcha.
Then yeah, you got to learn how to dance a little bit to their tune. Absolutely. But that's not to say that you can't figure out a way to create your own game or dance to the beat of your own drum. Now, that might mean you might have to make sacrifices or eat shit in certain areas, but you know, there's more than one way to reach the goal.
For sure.
And who knows? I don't know. I might not ever reach it on the ultimate level that I dream about, but at the end of the day, I also don't like being told what to do. I don't also like being told how to feel and what to say. So maybe my journey in my path is completely obviously going to be different and harder than the average motherfucker doing this because I don't adhere to those rules. So
no, I fuck with that heavy, bro, because like a lot of people are just dying for that fame, that blue check mark, that, you know, just whatever it is. But like, if you look at some of these famous people, or not me, you're obviously famous too, but like, you know, I guess what you say, you know, whoever's the mega stars and shit like that currently, some of them don't look that fucking happy to me, man. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, they may not be, or they may be extremely happy. We don't know.
Absolutely.
But you know, somebody wise once told me, just don't let this business define your happiness. So whatever that means to you, whatever's important to you, you got to figure that out. That's why when you ask about advice to the young people, it's hard to give it. I mean, again, there are certain things just in principle that you should, that'll always be relevant and that you should follow. But everybody's journey is different, man, because it all depends on what you personally are looking for. What does it for you? And that's not the same for everybody.
No, absolutely. And I think one of the things that touched me that, you know, about you, that I heard you say was when you talked about friendship, because that was one thing that I really, really understood. And I like, you were like, I don't take that word lightly. You know what I'm saying? And I remember you saying that on the Breakfast Club interview, something like that. And I respect that so much, man, because, you know, everybody just uses that word. So, oh, that's my friend. That's my friend. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, you know, like you said, friends got to be ready to bury a body with.
Right.
That's not tell on you. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I respect that so much. You know what I mean? And I think that's how I've been like for a long time. And sometimes my friends group is limited because I think like that sometimes because not everybody falls in that criteria. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I gotta ask you this question, man, because this is my favorite thing about you, and I think that separates you from everybody that takes you to the next level, and that puts you at that list of the greats. Your impersonations, man. When did you figure that out? Like, when did you figure out that is something that you could do?
You know, that's just something I was kind of blessed with early. And you know, my mother is a singer, jazz singer. Okay. And I often tell people doing impressions is like having an ear for music because everybody's voice is a note, inflection, tone, rhythm, cadence, riffs. So, you know, I just, you know, that's just something you're born with. And I mean, look, my mother, again, I think some of it was hereditary that I obviously got from her in terms of that ear and that tone. But then again, you know, everybody's mother ain't a singer. You know, I don't really know for sure Affion Crockett or Jay Farrow's family background, but you don't have to have a person in your family that sings. Again, it's just a weird gift. But I've been doing it, since I was a kid, man.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of people know you for that because when I heard you on that Shag's All-Star Comedy Jam do that rap, hey, you got some bars, man. You got some bars, man. Where you
A little bit, a
you
little bit.
rapper too, huh?
Yeah, but I listen. I don't fool myself, man. Rap is such a respectable, intricate, complex art form, and those that really do it well do it like it's as easy as breathing for them. It's natural, a la Jadakiss, Nas, Jay-Z, Snoop.
The great.
Rest in peace, Pac, Biggie, the great ones. So what might take them 10 minutes to do a song, nigga, take me 3 years to put something hot together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that just ain't I can do it, but I don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. So when you did when you do your comedy, is that something that you've already kind of had? Like, how long does that take you to figure out?
Well, that's that. But see, that for me is the opposite because that's what I do.
That's what
you know what I mean. That's my real talent.
Yeah.
Now I'm lazy a lot, so I don't be in the lab as much as I should. You know what I mean? But then there's also some other reasons for that I ain't gonna get into because I don't want to bring the energy down.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. We don't want to do that at all, man. We're not here for that. We're not here.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. So like when you go on, when you put together an hour comedy routine, right? I can only imagine how much work goes into that 1 hour, because I'm a DJ, right? So when I'm mixing live or I put together a set or I'm doing something on a live stream or a show or something like that, it's a lot of work. People just say you go out there and just play music, but you actually curate a playlist. You practice the mix. You know what sounds good. So how is it for you as a comedian? Like the work ethic. Like is it just day in day out grinding, like putting together a comedy routine, or for you is it like boom 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 done?
No, it's a little bit of both. I always I compare a lot of what we do to certain aspects of sports. Obviously, it's a different arena, but it's the same in the sense that we're entertainers. So whether you DJing, whether you doing comedy, music, or you on the field or on the court, it's all entertainment. So I always think of it like, football. You got your playbook, you got your plays that you always gonna run within your set.
Yeah.
But, you always got to have to be able to call an audible on the fly, which is dealing with hecklers or being able to improv or do crowd work. So if you can do both, and listen, not everybody can do both. There are some dudes who, they set as they playbook and they don't divert from that. And if they have to, they like a deer in headlights. They get scared. They don't know what to do in terms of crowd work. If somebody yell out, them motherfuckers is praying and they like, please shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But and then some dudes are really good at crowd work, but they material stinks. So, when you can be a Mike Vick and stay in the pocket and go out the pocket and be just as effective, it's a different ball game.
Absolutely. Just being able to be flexible, just do everything, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely a skill in itself. So I mean, I can only imagine what that's like. Speaking of sports though, you're from New York, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're a Knicks fan or you're a Nets fan? You're a Nets fan.
I'm not really when it comes to sports, man, I'm not like most dudes, man. I don't really have a team. I'm not even really a football lover, which is blasphemous to say in America. But I mean, I play Madden on the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. I'm a basketball guy and a boxing guy. I don't do fantasy teams because I'm heterosexual.
Damn, man, you hurt me right now, man.
Oh, my bad.
Damn, man. Okay.
But yeah, man, I'm not traditional when it comes to sports and being a guy.
Right. So aside from the comedy thing, you have a family. I'm correct, right? You have kids.
Yes. Yeah.
How's family life? How's being a dad, man? How's that journey like? Being in the industry, dad.
Great at times, and at times completely overrated. Kids get on your fucking nerves, man, and they can be some ungrateful motherfuckers too.
Hey man, listen, I feel you, and these are my concerns and my fears. I got a 2-year-old, and I got one on the way. I actually never told my audience this, so it's a first. But
Oh, congrats, man.
I got a daughter on the way, so he already not listening to me, bro. He already gets on top of the table, stands up. I said 3. He goes 2, 1. He be counting.
Right.
Like, fuck you, man.
Right.
You know, so no, I can only imagine what he's gonna be. And he a Taurus, so I know
Right.
he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool, man. That's cool. So, what else? What else is up with you, man? What else be going on? You
just grinding, brother.
And I see you doing a lot of different podcasts. What's the most recent one you did, like, recently?
Dude, I can't even remember, man. After a while, man, everything becomes a blur.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Between flight schedules and jet lag and different cities, you know, everything just kind of becomes a blur.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's cool. No, I'm sure you're keeping busy and everything like that. So I had a question to ask you about, like, if you could create a TV show, right? Because I think you're genius enough to put it together with, you know, a group of people or by yourself. What would be like a dream TV show if you could put one together? Like, what would a concept be?
I just love sketch comedy so much, man. I just, you know, would love to do a sketch show with the right kind of talent comedically and the right writers comedically. You know, again, like sports, man, like a basketball team, you know, you got your writers who are the coaches and you got your talent, which are the players. And that combination between coaching and players, if done correctly, you know, I'm on some 72-10 bullshit.
Absolutely. Who are some of your like favorite comedians now? Like, do you have any that are like some of the newer ones, younger guys that are doing it?
I'm not really too familiar with the newer cats. You know, Dave Chappelle, you know, I think is the GOAT. Yeah, Bill Burr is amazing. Tommy Davidson's incredible, explosive. And then the late, great Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah, man, you just named some legends. You up there with them too.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll take it, but okay.
I mean, to people that grew up in my era, because I'm 31. I mean, we grew up, you know, watching you. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely know the impact. Now, you know, I don't know about the young kids these days because they fucking going through people like this. You know what I'm saying? They don't even take a minute to appreciate shit. You know what I mean? But that's what this was about. You know what I mean? Was just like, you know, appreciating the legends that are here right now. Because, you know, like a lot of times what we do is just, oh, you know, appreciate them when they're gone, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if it was I'm assuming it's the younger generation that came up with that saying, giving people their flowers now, which if they did, I got to tip my hat to them on that one, because so often with youth comes arrogance, and it's hard to get the youth to understand to slow the fuck down sometimes and stop acting like they know everything. But that's actually a great saying and a great practice. So, you know, I appreciate that. You know, one of my favorite movies from back in the day, Colors, with Sean Penn and Robert Duvall. And I remember they told that old saying where, what is it, bulls or sheep? I don't know if it's bulls at the top of the hill, a father bull and a son bull, or a wolf, but let's just say a wolf, an old wolf being the father and the young wolf being the son. And the son says to his dad, "Hey, let's run down there. Let's run down this hill, Pop, and fuck one of them sheep." And the older wolf says to his son, "No, son, let's walk down and fuck them all."
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? So it's like, take your time. Take your time. Stop trying to rush. If you run down, you're going to scare them all. And you might not get one. But if you take your time and you walk down and you don't make them run away, well, now you got them all. So, you know.
And I understand that completely. And I think we're in a day and age, Aries, where young kids are getting rich like this, right? People are making money at an age where when I was growing up, it was unheard of, right? And probably for you, it never happened, right? Like, right. Just easily accessible. you can do nothing and be a millionaire in today. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
when you see that when you're young, I feel like you don't appreciate the grind. You know, like you don't know about the chitlin circuit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know,
Right.
you know, the actual, you know, getting out there and just doing it and being a face and like, you know, it's a different, man. It's a different day and age because we got that fucking phone. People making $1 million off that phone, man. You know, so I definitely get where you're coming from because I see it from both angles. You know, from the because I'm kind of in between. You know what I mean? But I think there's a lot of respect for the older guys, man, that did it because they did it without any of this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The challenge of it is just the journey is had to have been harder. You know what I mean? Not that theirs is not hard now or they don't put in the work, but I just think, you know, people like you and all other greats, especially for comedy, man, that was, you know,
it's the blessing and the curse because there's obviously advantages. You know, I was just thinking the other day, man, you know, again, you got to give the great thing about what the youth is doing in terms of this, the timing of it. This technology is a motherfucker.
great.
So it's like, you know, that's the blessing to a degree is the technology.
You heard about the crypto? I should go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Yeah. But the curse is a little bit substance. Life was just more raw, more real. It made you tougher. It taught you more. It was more honest. Back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
it's like the technology is great. Listen, I'm a video gamer. Yeah. And I was there for the birth. ColecoVision, Atari. There's no way I'm going to tell you that Nintendo Entertainment System blowing your cartridge to make it work is better than the PS5 or the Xbox in terms of what it can do today. There's no way I'm going to tell you that the big brick phone that I had is better than what these phones can do today. I can watch porn in the safety and the seclusion of my own phone. I don't have to go and put on a trench coat and go into Midtown Manhattan in a porn store. Yeah. So the technology is great.
Absolutely.
But there was something edgy and scary about going into the porn store with your trench coat on that made you feel better.
Yeah.
So it's the blessing and the curse.
No, absolutely. No, I definitely know where you're coming from. And I think it's a crazy time, man. Like it's like I think there's like a change going on in the world, man. Like everything's shifting and everything is just being different. I know you heard of, I know we're running out of time a little bit, so I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna try to wrap you up, but I know you heard about the crypto stuff going on. You heard about NFTs, you know what that is?
No, but I'm heavily invested in Bitcoin.
Are you? Oh, I know you happy every day. That shit just going like this. Every day. Now I got a lot of people around me invested in it too, but they got this thing called NFTs now. You might hear about it sooner or later where people could sell like just different things, right? I don't know, I can't explain it to you properly, but I'll give you an example. The CEO of Twitter announced yesterday that he's selling the first tweet that he ever put out on an NFT, and it sold for $2.5 million. So it's like having a digital copy of his tweet, not a physical copy, and you own it, it's your name on it, but it's in like a fucking space. You can't even touch it. You know what I'm saying? But he bought 2.5 million is what he made off. So, you know, you can't even touch the shit, bro. You know, so the money is, and I'm just trying to figure out how these people just got money like this to just spend on just shit, you know, but I guess, you know, there's a lot of money out there, you know what I mean? But it's crazy, man. We're in a crazy time and place, man. But I gotta say something before, you know, we get off, because I know we're running out of time or whatever. Man, you talk on your, you know, some of your interviews, and you talk about things people label you as and things like that, like being a jerk or a jackass or whatever. I just want to say this now, man. You didn't have to do this interview with me. You know what I'm saying? And you literally just made it so easy for us. And there's a lot of gatekeepers, Aries, but a lot of motherfuckers act like they don't know where the key's at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You found the key for us, and you just opened the gate a little bit.
Let me tell you something, man. I am the most what's that fucking word? I just had it. Miss something. Help me out. The word. when you said your wife is in there, right?
Yeah.
Women are smarter than us. I know she knows. Miss like when you got somebody figured out wrong.
Oh, I misunderstood.
There you go. I'll take that.
Okay.
I'm one of the most misunderstood people on the planet. Everybody has a perception about who I am and how I am. And especially this is what one of the things I really hate about Hollywood. It's so high school. It's like no one takes the time to do self-investigation. What everybody does is go, oh, I heard he's like that. Word. So that's what they go with. It's like cool kids sit with the cool kids, the jocks sit with the jocks, the goth kids sit with the goth kids. It's cliques. And nobody takes the time to really learn who you are. They go off of what they've heard. And if it's popular to dislike that person because of what they heard, well, then that's the trend. And it's like, dude, I'm one of the realest, most down-to-earth, honest niggas in the game. And I just have a low tolerance for bullshit. I don't like bullshit. I don't like phonies. I don't bite my tongue. And in a business and in today's moist-ass climate where that is frowned upon, you could see why I'm on the outs. But anybody that ever takes the time to get to know me and talk to me, I'm nothing what people think I am. But you know, I also don't walk around cheesing all day, grinning from ear to ear, and I got my Ice Cube scowl on my face. And people take all that and then they build a perception and then they run with it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure people can push narratives and shit that are false. And you know what, man, that's why I'm saying this, because I appreciate you more than anything for taking the time out today this morning to have the interview with me. And yeah, man, it's not every day you're gonna have things like this happen. And because you did this, I'm like, man, this is a real motherfucker, man. This dude is real, man. You know what I'm saying?
All love, baby.
You got a fan for life. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody who's gonna support you for life. Whenever you when you come down to Houston anytime soon for a show?
Damn, it'll probably be a while because I was in Houston a little earlier. Well, shit, it's just now turned 2021. A little earlier in 2020. So I usually make the rounds to everywhere once a year. So it might be a while before I'm back in Houston. But yeah, man. If I ever get to Houston,
I'm gonna stay tuned. I'm gonna look out for that tour. I'll be there for sure, man. I know you got to get going. I know you got another interview to do, so I don't want to hold you up too long. But Aries, I appreciate you. You're a fucking legend.
All love, brother. Thank you, man. And again, to the people listening, how many listeners do you guys have?
I think we got. It's hard to tell, but I would say anywhere between 500 to 1,000. You know.
Yeah, the Spears and Steinberg podcast. Hit me up in my Instagram and my DMs. I'll send you the link. All love, man. Next time you need me, man, just put the bat signal in the air, and I'll meet you on the roof like Commissioner Gordon.
I see you, man. I appreciate you. Salute, man.
You got it, brother.
You have a good day. All right.
All right, dog.
Be blessed.